Hi, welcome to a BurnLive show where we burn wonkly keeping you connected, hashtagging these red eyes, changing the viewers I read, keeping underage smoking off social media. I'm here live in my new office. This is my new office, y'all. This is the new office. This is where it's supposed to be going down. Welcome to another show. I know we're I know we're late. We had a show earlier. We was testing out the mics and everything. So that's what tonight was been. It's been one of those testimonies and see what's going on and see what's popping. I appreciate everybody stopping through, hanging out, showing their support. As you see me working hard to try to bring some good content. Had to remember that I got both of these mics on and controlling everything. But I appreciate everybody stopping through. Mondays and Tuesdays, my political days where we get very political. Trying to make sure I turn down this mic a little bit, yo. So let me give me a second. Still ain't got everything. Still ain't got everything correct on her yet. But we working on it. I appreciate everybody stopping through. I hope everybody's having a good Monday. I know everybody's been hard at work. Bills are getting paid. We all are just sitting here thinking about the good old days, and days are good. Um, Two good important stories are coming soon. Tomorrow is like a very big important day to me. For us, this cannibal podcast are really coming out. Um, I'll be talking about it a little bit in today's story. Donald Trump is supposedly getting locked up tomorrow. I know y'all heard it somewhere, heard a little bit. Your boy's supposed to be getting locked up tomorrow. Um, with my boy, maybe not your boy, but the president, ex-president, is supposed to be getting locked up. It's world breaking news. Like everybody's covering, everybody's out there, everybody's trying to get to it, and I will be covering it here tomorrow. I will be covering it here tomorrow on the channel to make sure that we see what's going on because this is a big deal. Everybody know that Trump is planning to be running for an election real soon. And for him to be getting locked up, that's not gonna look good. That's hey, to be honest with you, I'm just gonna keep it like this. That's not gonna say that he's gonna win. You know what I'm saying? Especially if he get locked up. I'm just gonna keep it real. He's not gonna win. And you know that I know that. So, you know what I'm saying? We're not gonna even play around with it and even say like, yeah, he get locked up, he still has a chance to win. Yeah, no, no. Um I will be bringing this story to you. So give me a second. Let me bring up the video. So get right into the proceedings.
Of history. It's called the great man theory. It
Oh
basically
Lord.
says history's possibly even handcuffed.
Okay. Whew, that's better. That's better. Yet again, I gotta see. This is why I told my people. This is why I need to monitor on this side because when you watch me live, my monitor is on this side. So when I look at TV and I look at the monitor, I want to be on this side. I knew it was a reason why I wanted everything over here. Yeah. It just looks better for the show when I'm looking at the monitor and you looking at TV and I'm actually looking what you're looking at instead of me, like in my bedroom, like in my other office, I'm looking away from the story. But it is what it is. I'm definitely gonna fix that tomorrow. Um, I'm gonna swapping everything around. I'll probably swap everything around tonight. But t- without a further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this story.
On camera. Is that true? We can't say. We do know that Trump is the subject of a grand jury investigation in Manhattan. That's a city that voted against Donald Trump by almost 80% in the last presidential election. We also know that the grand jury was impaneled by a Soros-funded DA called Alvin Bragg, who looks and acts like a Tawana Brawley-era Al Sharpton. So we would assume, on the basis of that evidence, that it's pretty likely Trump does get charged with something at some point. But charged with what? That's the question that should matter. In a free country, laws are universal. Laws apply to all citizens equally, precisely because all citizens are considered equal. For generations, this was very obvious to American liberals. In fact, it was the basis of their worldview. That was back when liberals opposed Jim Crow and were not trying to reinstate it as something called equity. We are not liberals, but we retain the traditional American view, which is that laws must be.
We are all created equal. Everybody should be locked up for any crime that you do or commit, if the charges is there. But understand that these charges that have been brought towards Trump, y'all, are old. They're old. And he's gonna break it down how old they are. And this is the sad part about it, that it's really that old.
Be applied equally, or else they're not laws at all. Justice must be blind, or else it is tyranny. So we spent the day with the help of a lawyer on our staff trying to assess the likely charges against Donald Trump. And here's what we found. 8 years ago, as he was running for president, Trump paid a porn actress called Stormy Daniels $130,000. Daniels alleged that she and Trump had at one point had sex. Trump denied that. He still denies it. But in exchange for promising not to repeat that claim in public, Trump, through his then attorney, Michael Cohen, sent Stormy Daniels a check. Was that legal? Well, we can answer that question. Because there was a campaign in progress at the time, officials at the Federal Election Commission later examined the transaction between Trump and Stormy Daniels. Federal investigators concluded that nothing criminal had taken place. And in fact, settlements like this, whatever you think of them, are common, both among famous people, celebrities, and in corporate America. The result is usually known as an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. In this case, you can believe whatever side you want to believe, but paying people not to talk about things, hush money, is ordinary in modern America. According to the FEC, there was no need for Donald Trump to report his payments to Stormy Daniels, nor was the money that he sent her through his attorney subject to campaign finance limitations. The FEC determined the entire thing was a personal expenditure. It clearly was. So what is the crime here? Well, the media don't seem very interested in finding out. This is Donald Trump. He's a criminal. Everything he does is a crime. Watch.
Simply because he may have committed worse crimes, you don't let him off of lesser crimes. If you are, for example, seeking a prosecution for murder, if the guy gets caught drunk driving in another context before that, you don't just let him go because you have bigger fish to fry.
Nobody is above the law, including Donald Trump. It doesn't matter that this is kind of a minor crime compared to some of the other.
The main question should be, what crime did he commit? He paid a girl because he didn't want to have sex with her? Hey, go shut up. Sit your ass down. Is that what we really? Is that was the big hype around tomorrow of locking him up? That, hey, we finally got him. You know, that's what they're gonna be screaming too. Hey, we finally got him.
Other allegations.
A crime is a crime is a crime is a crime. That's what anybody prosecuting or a judge would say.
A crime is a crime is a crime, as Mika said. An indictment is an indictment is an indictment. When I hear people saying this is much ado about nothing, I think about all the members of Congress I served with and understanding every single one of them would have been charged and sent to jail had they done this.
I was reading the Bible, which said that a man sows, that he may also reap.
Joe Scarborough, ladies and gentlemen, telling us what a crime is. A crime with a woman. Okay. There's Al Sharpton lecturing us about the Bible. It's hilarious. Oh, the hypocrisy. But it didn't really answer the question. Why are we handcuffing Donald Trump? Liberals don't seem to care at all as long as it happens, as long as Trump gets handcuffed. But in fact, there's plenty of evidence that Trump committed no crime in sending money to Stormy Daniels. We don't have to guess. Consider the case of former North Carolina Senator John Edwards. Edwards was often described as a fiery liberal, but in fact, he was a populist. He ran for president twice, and in the process, infuriated the leaders of the Democratic Party by talking way too much about income inequality. They really hated him for that. Long after Edwards left office, Barack Obama's DOJ charged him with federal finance violations. So the premise of the case against John Edwards was that he had received $1 million in gifts and that he spent that money in hush money payments to his mistress, with whom he later had a child. Obama's DOJ argued that the money that Edwards sent to his girlfriend amounted to campaign contributions. Edwards never reported that money, so Obama's DOJ tried to send him to prison. Well, in the end, the case fell apart under the weight of its own incoherence. So Obama's lawyers argued that any payment that could conceivably help a political candidate politically is by definition a campaign expenditure. There's no law that says that, by the way, they just made it up. But if you think about it for a second, it doesn't make sense. If that were true, flip it around. It would mean that candidates could use donor money and also taxpayer money in the form of federal matching funds to pay for any personal expense as long as that expense could conceivably benefit them politically. So candidates could take federal matching funds, tax dollars, to buy Ferraris as long as they argued those Ferraris would appear in campaign ads, et cetera, et cetera. It's nonsensical. So not surprisingly, John Edwards was acquitted in that case. It was a humiliating defeat for the Obama administration, but it also sent a clear message and set a precedent, which Alvin Bragg apparently is ignoring. So we don't know that an indictment's coming, as noted, and if it does come, we're not sure what it's going to say. We haven't seen it. But if Trump is indicted for sending money to Stormy Daniels, well, you'll be watching the abuse of law enforcement power. Oh, but you can't complain about it. Because as Congresswoman Maxine Waters has explained, political protests staged on behalf of Donald Trump are not constitutionally protected. They're domestic terrorism. Watch.
This is Donald Trump. Sending messages out to domestic terrorists that he's worked with and he helped to organize for the invasion of the Capitol on January 5th. He's sending out a message to them to get ready to protest any arrests, indictments, et cetera, that he may have. So he's basically talking to the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, QAnon, KKK.
Oh, January 6th. The only really organized group on January 6th was the FBI, of course. But consider the idea and where it's coming from. This is Maxine Waters. This is the lady who cheered on the LA race riots 3 decades ago. This is the very same person who just a few years ago said, and we're quoting, if you see anybody from the Trump cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, she's very old, get out and create a crowd. And you push back on them and you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere. Basically necklace them. Okay, Maxine Waters. But she's a Democrat, so this is just a civil rights exercise. She's protected from domestic terrorism charges. And Alvin Bragg is too. He's a Democrat. And you should know, we don't want to impugn his character or anything. We don't want to suggest that there's a connection between politics and the indictment of Donald Trump. But Alvin Bragg did run for office promising, as a campaign promise, to indict Donald Trump. We're not guessing. He gave televised interviews about it. Watch.
All right, so newspaper reports today say we could expect to see an indictment to be handed down against Donald Trump soon. Any thoughts on how you would handle such a high-profile case?
Certainly throughout my career, I've gone wherever the facts have taken me. And the types of allegations that have been reported publicly, valuation of assets, perhaps the use of shell companies, tax fraud. I've done all these sort of cases. I've tried a mortgage fraud case. I've tried one of the most significant money laundering cases out in the New York region. So of all the candidates, I sort of stand at the ready with all the tools in the toolkit.
Yeah, we're going to go after Trump. And by the way, he listed some real crimes there, and they have spent years trying to pin those crimes on Trump. They even got his tax returns illegally, and they found none of them. Not an offense to Trump, just true. So we wind up with this, which is piddling. But what's interesting is even as Bragg has been single-mindedly focused, Bragg, a graduate of Harvard College, on Donald Trump and his crimes, sending money to a porn star, he has been not only ignoring real crimes, but downgrading felonies to misdemeanors and letting actual violent criminals out of jail as quickly as possible. On his first day in office, Bragg, consistent with the ideas of the man who paid for his campaign, George Soros, issued a memo explaining his office will, quote, not seek a carceral sentence except in cases involving homicides, economic crimes, and a small number of felonies. Now, that was great news for people who commit violent felonies, including rapists like Justin Washington. Washington struck a deal with Bragg that allowed him to serve just 30 days in jail under the theory that his rape was really just second-degree coercion. So he He got out quickly, and when he did, police say this same man sexually attacked 5 other people in the Bronx. He even tried to rape a homeless woman at 10 in the morning. Okay. So in another case, a career criminal who was arrested 3 times in 4 months for serious crimes, including assault and aggravated harassment, skipped court. And when police finally found him and hauled him to court, Bragg's office let him go in January of last year. Guess what he did when he got out? He murdered a woman.
A growing makeshift memorial in front of a New York City apartment building honoring Christina Yuna Lee after police say a man followed her home and attacked her, stabbing her to death. This security video obtained by NBC News appears to show Lee being followed by the suspect. When they arrived, the door was barricaded. When cops went into the apartment, investigators say they found the body of a 35-year-old woman. Woman, later identified as Lee, in her bathroom, and the suspect covered in blood. Police say Osama Nash was arrested and charged with Lee's murder. This was his 8th arrest since May of 2021.
What's interesting is that no one cares. Where's Joe Scarborough in that? Is he upset about it? Is his wife upset? Power to women. Right. All the arch feminists who should be out there defending women, they don't care at all. So here you have a DA who treats violent felonies like they're misdemeanors, even when it gets people killed, who's unleashing criminals on the population, but then spending all of his time trying to destroy his political opponents. In this case, elevating a misdemeanor charge to a felony for the purpose of taking down Trump. Now, here's what we think, if there is an indictment, will form the core of the charge. Bragg seems to be alleging that Trump violated New York's Business Record Act by falsely reporting the payout to Stormy Daniels as, quote, legal fees. Now, if this were true, it would constitute a misdemeanor. Demeanor, and the statute of limitations has already run out for that, for the bookkeeping error, assuming it even happened. But Bragg apparently is thinking about charging Trump under a felony version of the business records law, one that punishes businesses for falsifying records as a way to commit another separate crime. That would be the campaign finance violation, which, as we mentioned, was not a campaign finance violation, and we know that from the FEC, which polices campaign finance violations. And by the way, if it were, then that would be a federal crime, not something that Alvin Bragg, the Manhattan DA, would be prosecuting. The whole thing doesn't make any sense at all. On a legal level, on a political level, it does, because Trump is running for president. So what's behind this? Is he acting alone? We may soon find out. Congressman Jim Jordan of Ohio, who sits in the House Judiciary Committee, is calling on Bragg to testify before the Congress. He wants to hear Bragg explain whether or not he's had any contact with the White House or the Biden DOJ. And if he has, maybe that will explain these charges. He also wants to know whether this prosecution will use any federal funds. Let's hope Alvin Bragg was committed to
Explaining to y'all this and what's going on is crazy because we gotta understand that this guy here is not having it. We He's taking a misdemeanor crime and turned it into a felony when he took felony criminals and made them misdemeanors and they got out and they committed murder. But that's going to be overlooked. Nobody's going to look at that. Y'all that watch this and see this video, heard and seen it with your own eyes, the witnesses, him getting locked up, getting out, murder, and getting locked back up. Stop playing. 8, what the dude say? Locked up 8 times within 3 months. But yet again, we're gonna lock up Trump for something that happened during a campaign of him paying a porno chick. But y'all want to say he paid him during his campaign, so therefore that's part of his campaign money, and you can't spend campaign money to pay off nobody. Make that, bro. I swear, bro. The the Democratic Party finds some of the dumbest things to really hit us with. Y'all really do. Y'all really do. And I know I got Democrat people that follow me and don't like what I say, but come on, man. If y'all have anything else to say, put it in the comments, man. Put it in the comments. Send me the link. Let's look it up. Let's go to it. Because you have these cases and these peoples and these problems that go on, and then when we talk about them and we face them and we discuss them, and then you be like, oh no, it really wasn't like that, or this person was troubled, he was bothered, something was wrong, you know what I'm saying, he was going through some things and did nobody look out for him, and it's too late, and if somebody was there, somebody was there, people was there. But did y'all give a damn? Okay, I'm gonna take y'all to this other breaking news real quick. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I love about this BurnLive show. I can take y'all to some breaking news that's going on. So let me get y'all to it. Let's get straight into it, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it's hot and juicy, fresh off the press. I love it.
Defense as Republicans are going after him over raging crime. Here's the mayor over the weekend taking a page out of Biden's recent script on crime and policing.
It gave the appearance that Democrats are soft on crime. No, soft on crime is the Republicans who refused to put money in his crime bills to make sure that we gave the resources to our police department.
And as we get closer to a likely 2024 announcement from Biden, here's that script.
Congressional Republicans should pass my budget instead of calling for cuts in these services or defunding the police or abolishing the FBI, as we hear from our MAGA Republican friends. MAGA Republicans are calling for defunding the police departments and defunding the FBI. MAGA Republicans are calling for defunding. They're defunding.
Nah. You see how he's switching it up now, y'all see how he's switching it up. Now it's the Republicans that want to defund the police. Now it's September 23rd, 22. Now he's going around trying to say that it's us. Stop. Where the facts at? Somebody show me a fact that show me a Republican state that's trying to defund the police officers. And I'll be like, okay.
Defunding the FBI.
You can't say it because it's not true. Jason Rant, Seattle KTTH radio host. Jason, Republicans have said it forever. They will try to flip the switch and redefine what they've done by building crime like a wall in their cities.
Yeah, it's rather pathetic and it's very transparent. Even someone who has a casual relationship with the news knows that it was the Democrats who have been pushing to defund the police. I mean, for Eric Adams to take that position, the NYPD was defunded. So it is ludicrous. People understand what's going on because on this particular issue, they felt it. As individuals who live in these cities, when they take their kid to the park, they don't feel safe. They've had their cars broken into. They've maybe known someone who's gotten assaulted or maybe almost got assaulted. We see this all the time. And when it happens to them or someone they love, they start paying attention. And there's a lot of people paying attention because of this crime surge.
It's interesting. We were just talking with the power panel about how Jen Psaki, when she first left as White House press secretary, and you saw her in that video now, she's a host for another network. She was talking with Mayor Adams there, had really been the one right before the midterms to plant the seed of Democrats have to focus in on crime. And they did for a period of time. And then the videos come back. Then all of the problems come.
So y'all forgot. I I wish my friend I wish my friends was watching this, like, so honestly true, because I know for a fact my friends are Democrats. I got a lot of Democratical friends. Oh, I got a lot of Democratical friends. And yes, they would say, "Oh yeah, Trump was," but deep down inside, I got a lot of Democratical friends. That's why I make these videos. And one day, I will come across their screen. And they're gonna hear me ranting and putting on this, because these, like I said, y'all, these videos is gonna come more and more. It's only gonna get better and better. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm coming with these stories, and wait till I learn how to do these shorts. When I learn how to do these nice little shorts, these nice little 2 minute, 3 minute little things, and put it all up in there, I'm coming, because I'm tired of that. Y'all defunded, literally defunded it. Y'all defunded it in Chicago. Y'all defunded it in New York. Y'all did this. Democrats did this, and it backfired. Now y'all don't like it. Joe Biden, oh, it was the mega. He's not even calling the Republican Party mega. So he literally know that you're talking about people that's going to go out there and vote for Trump. Y'all don't want to watch, man. It's okay. It's cool. Y'all thinking that it's a game out here. Y'all thinking that this is over. Like it's gonna keep getting better. Like the Democratic Party is really gonna be for us. When are y'all gonna see is not here for us, bro? I just want y'all. I'm just waiting on y'all. When y'all gonna see? When y'all gonna see he's not for us? They be knocking us down when we go. Y'all not ready. Y'all think I'm on some bullshit. That's cool. That's cool. And you know how I know? Y'all know what y'all think, because I know what y'all say. I debate with Democrats all the time, and they be like, "You fool," and I be like, "So who freed the blacks? Abraham Lincoln, and then Abraham Lincoln for real. Okay, so who freed the blacks?" Hmm? When you come across these stories and you want to know the truth and you want to see what's up, so I want to hear this story. I want to go over it with you guys. I got another story to go over with you. This is what I'm doing on Mondays and Tuesdays. I'm going out here and I'm going to get these stories, and I'm finna keep it. Hey, y'all may not like it, but it has to be done. I feel like it really, really has to be done. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of channels, but there's a lot of my peoples. And there's a lot of people that don't understand and don't get to hear these stories. So let's hear this story, y'all.
All right, guys. So we got to talk about fired MSNBC woke activist Torre, who took to Twitter to put out a pretty embarrassing tweet, right? That showed you guys that the left, they're panicking over the fact that the American people do not approve of their woke agenda. Okay. And when I say woke, I mean far left, progressive ideology, agenda for social change. Now, some people may say, well, that includes Marxism and other stuff. And all that is true as well, too. But I try to keep my definition of woke to be as simple as possible. So therefore, I don't have to go back and engage with these people in regards to what is the definition of woke, which has been a part of the conversation that has been happening online. As again, leftists are starting to get kind of mad about it, right? They're mad about the right always using the term woke and attaching it to them when they told us that the term woke is supposed to be positive, right? It's supposed to be that you're aware of the social injustices and all the terrible things that are happening in our society, particularly when it comes to marginalized groups and individuals. Now, because they basically failed to preemptively define the term woke, okay, and their definition hasn't stuck, and that woke now, for the most part, in my opinion, doesn't necessarily have a positive connotation, it has a negative connotation, then they're trying to change it to a slur. They're like, oh, no, you can't use the word woke anymore. It's a slur. So now they probably want to ban the word woke, okay, which leads me to this tweet right here from Torre, which says, quote, at this point, woke is a slur. The way the right uses it as an undercover way of saying those people or non-white people is a polite way of saying the N-word. But in this case, the N-word includes Black, LGBTQ folks, and other marginalized groups. Again, I think I have applied the term woke, okay, to straight white people who happen to be progressive, right? I think I've applied that term to those people probably the most, probably more so than anybody else. Okay. Again, these people clearly don't understand how the term woke is being used on the right and by conservatives. So they get mad and they get pissed about it and they say, well, it's a slur. And if it's actually really a slur, like this guy says, wouldn't that mean that this person has been calling himself the N-word, right? The left has been calling themselves the N-word for a long time now, right? Which, I mean, hey, I guess that would be normal for them considering how, Black people are allowed to call themselves the N-word, even though, allegedly that word is a slur as well, too, right? The N-word is a slur, but Black people can call themselves the N-word because, I don't know, privilege, right? But if a white person uses the word, oh my God, it's terrible. It's crazy. So I get
That is true. It's a slur. No matter how you look at it, no matter how you say it, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, it's a slur. But then when it's all said and done, it's not a slur outside the country because Niger, the darkest tree ever, is where it's come from. Nigger is a king in the native land.
Dr. Seuss was canceled. I picked up his last book before they pulled it off the shelves. I hope you guys grab it too. It's called There is Disorder at the Border by Executive Order. Everybody's getting woke because they don't want to get canceled, right? You got country music artists changing their names. Lady Antebellum, no longer. It is Lady A. The Dixie Chicks are just the Chicks. Even Alabama now, Vermont. We're going to have another bout of coronavirus. And I still want to know, where did it come from? Did it come from a lab? I learned this, a special report on Fox News. A baby bat is called a pup, while an old bat is called Nancy Pelosi. A new report on climate change just came out. I didn't know this. I don't know if you guys saw this, but did you know this? Climate change is the #1 cause of documentaries. Kim Jong-un recently achieved the highest rank in the North Korean army, 5'6". A Hunger Games theme park recently opened in South Korea. It's called North Korea.
All right, guys. So I came across this hilarious comedy clip, and I guess I got to give a shout out to Tatum. That's how I stumbled across this clip from comedian Steve Byrne, in which Steve claims that some of his jokes were banned by Amazon. Okay, he has a new comedy special.
That was funny. That was funny. That was funny. That was funny. Yeah, this woke revolution world, bro, and this putting people in jail for no reason, us letting criminals out. We turn up cities, making cities way more instructional. So it's just like, it's what are you gonna do? So this election, that's next year. Next year is a very highly important election. Whoo, man. Every election seems like it just gets more and more and more and more and more and more important. Like, you would think they're all important because any election is important. That's the freedom of this country, is the fact to vote and choose what you want as law. That's the beautiful thing. And it's so beautiful that people actually exercise those rights. And people that exercise those rights are getting the good privileges that they got today. Here's another story. You're finna get right into it. BurnLive.
It was only a year ago. Remember, actor Jussie Smollett was sentenced to 150 days in jail for faking a hate crime against himself in downtown Chicago. Now, that happened back in 2019. Now, Smollett.
Okay, I'm not gonna go there. Everybody know that boy from what's that movie? What's that? No, that TV show with Cookie and now about the music people. Huh? Nah. That Fox TV show. Empire. We ain't even finna go there. We ain't finna go there. Cause basically the people that did the crime, they came out and testified and everything like that. That ain't no big ass story for real, y'all. That ain't big enough story. Just like Kamala getting booed at an NCAA game. I mean, that's cool. That's not cool. That's cool. Whatever, whatever. I mean, you had the right to voice your opinion, but I don't think that's big news like that. Like, that ain't big news. What's this about, y'all? Today.
Actors to stand there so she could promote a TV show for some reason. Why are we doing this again? She never really explained. Mental Health Day or something. None of them were doctors. But at the same time, even as she was promoting a TV show, the White House press secretary refused to take questions from actual reporters. First on that list would be our friend Simon Atiba of Today News Africa. So today, Atiba just got frustrated and called out the White House press secretary for ignoring his actual questions for months. Watch what happened next.
What you are doing, you are making a mockery of the First Amendment. It's been 7 months. You've not called on me. You've not my messages. I'm saying that's not right. That's not right.
On times, welcome, guys. Welcome to the press briefing room.
That's not right. This is not China. This is not Russia. This is the United States. This is the White House. It's been 7 months.
Embarrassing.
If
you have grievances, you should bring them to her later.
I have done that. All my emails have been ignored.
And the press corps is tired of dealing with this.
It isn't about you, Simon. I understand that you get questioned all the time and you don't understand what it is to sit here for 8 months and being discriminated against. I understand that you're in the front row and you feel comfortable and you get questioned all the time. But there are people in the back who don't get any questions.
Don't make assumptions about what the rest of us do. Mind your manners when you're in here. If you have a problem, you bring it up afterwards.
What has just occurred this last 10, 15 minutes is unacceptable. It is unacceptable. So we're either going to continue the briefing or we can just end the briefing.
Outrageous doesn't even describe what we just.
She didn't even try to stop it though. I see if you tried to stop it. You didn't even try to stop it. You didn't even try to. That was funny. This is a waste of taxpayers' dollars, and people every day. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. So we're gonna literally sit up. This I care, man. I don't want to waste my taxpayer dollar. There are things that I can be doing that are way more important than watching a circus go on. You know what I'm saying, at the White House. Like that's ridiculous. That's come on, man. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we don't wake up, bros, and start really understanding how to vote. A lot of people want to say, a lot of people would say, "Oh, you know what I'm saying, I'm brainwashed, and there's no real, um, there's no real times, there's no real vote. Your vote don't count." I'm sorry, your vote don't count. That's a shame because your vote do count, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to break that down, do a special episode. I'm about to start getting into 10-minute shows, just breaking down one segment, you know what I'm saying, uploading and do another one, just so I can just go more into definites, just so I can have my late night chills. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I hope y'all having a good time, bro. I hope y'all is feeling what's going on tonight. Like I said, these are my political nights. Tomorrow we was actually see if Donald Trump's get locked up. We will stay continue. He shouldn't get locked up, bro. This is stupid. Another Burn Live show. Yeah. Burn Live, Merle Wankley keeping you connected. Hashtagging these red eyes, changing the viewers. I read. Keeping underage smoking on social media. Yeah. Getting the station, getting the laboratory. Like I said in the last show, man, I'm thinking about getting me a Pokemon, man. Get out of jail free card, bro. On me. I'm gonna get out here. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I'm gonna just little 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I did what 3 shows today, man. I ain't did 3 shows in a very long time. I feel great. Appreciate I did it, man. Y'all have a good time. Good night, y'all.